Hi, so a bit about inVision app and craft. So inVision app is a really great place to load up all of your artboards that you create in Sketch and then uh, be able to then test those artboards with students. And the way that works is if you go to Sketch, you'll notice that there are this line of different icons over here. This is your craft plugin. So just to start, this here is what syncs up to your inVision, right? So this is your sync area. So this will grab these artboards and send them to your account. This here is a library where you're able to store styles, textiles, and other sorts of layer styles and colors and things like that that you're going to repurpose across most of your work. This here we've looked at in the past, which is a quick way to be able to pull in text and images. So let's just say right here I wanted to add an additional title. So we just do that, select it, and then just write a headline, put technology, and we're done. So I didn't have to think. You'd be surprised how much time is spent coming up with these silly like filler text, right? So we did that really quickly. Then you're able to also add in, let's just say we wanted to move this down and we wanted to maybe have a picture up there too. So we just make a little square, just go to photos, right? And we can have different sorts of pictures. So we can grab things from Dropbox or wherever, or we can grab other sorts of bunch of stuff. So this is a technology, so we're just going to click on technology and save this. All right. Now I could just go here and click tech, and now I have a tech picture. Right? So that was pretty cool. That was easy. And what we're going to do also, what inVision allows you to do is to create interactions. And I'll show you what that looks like. So literally being able to grab these artboards, stitch them together where I can say when you click on this, it goes to this screen, right? And then share that with people on your mobile device, because we're doing mobile here. And I'll show you what that looks like really quick. So actually, before we do that, let's send this to inVision. So before you do this, you have to create an inVision account. So go to inVision, create an account, and you're going to get, you may end up in a place similar to this. It'll be empty, but you're going to create your first project and call it, whatever it is you want to call it. And then you want to download the craft plugin. All the way at the top, there's a download this plugin, and then you're set. Right, then you can go to craft, click on this button. You'll be able to select the prototype project that you selected. And if you're going to do iPhone app, then make sure you select that on the when you create the project. You can also create a project from here. So that's what I'll do. I'm just going to create a project. I'm going to call it my test. Right. I'm going to make it an iPhone app. Select your account, create, and then you want to sync this. So now I'm going to send this to my test. I'm going to send all artboards, or you can just select the selected artboard, however you want to do it, and then sync it. And then we are done. Right, so now if I go back to projects, go to prototypes, if I refresh, you should see your new project, right? There it is. So now if I click in here, you have two artboards, right? And what you're able to do is actually let's go to the other artboard. And for some reason, both artboards didn't come up. I think I selected only this. So we want to actually, when we sync this, we want to make sure all artboards on active canvas, sync that. Okay, so now it should have both. There it goes. All right, so it's there now. So now you can move these around. Now we're going to click on, what I want to do is when I click on this image, I want it to go to here. right? And to do that, you can just click on this little build mode, highlight, and then select where you want it to go, and I want it to go there, and then you're done. And then you select the gesture. I want it to happen on tap. There's a bunch of others you can select, and then I want to also select how it's going to transition, like have it dissolve, push, and let's just say I want it to like push from the left, right? If I were to save this and then preview, when I click on the button, it'll slide over from the left. Okay, super simple. The next thing you can do now is you can also create comments. Well, you can share this, obviously. There's some share options over here. In that, people could add comments, right? You could, this is your inspect mode. We're going to be looking at this much closer later in the semester. But here's where you'll start to notice, this is really helpful for when we want to start creating our CSS and HTML. You can start to select things and you'll see all of the width, you'll see all the various opacity, there's colors, points, thickness. There's a bunch of different information that it starts to give you. So here you're getting spacing, alignment, and you could use all these values to start to create your CSS, which is super helpful. And I believe even this is new here. They're starting to give you some Swift code to create mobile apps, which is also pretty interesting. Okay, so that's that. Then you have a history mode. It shows you all the different syncs that you've done, uploads. You can override this, share on social networks, and all that sort of stuff. Okay, let's get back here. So, okay, so that's great. Now we created it here, but you know what? That's one way to do it, right? The other way to do it is, let's go back to the other. Let's just delete it from here. I don't want to do it from here, right? Because that means I have to log in, I have to do all this stuff within inVision, and that's kind of annoying. So what I want to do instead is I want to do it from where I am already, which is Sketch. So with Sketch, what you can do is you select this little lightning bolt here, and when you click it, it's going to place you into prototype mode, right? So welcome to prototype mode. Select the layer, press C to begin. So you select the layer, and press C, and you see everything turns blue, and then a little arrow comes up. And what this is going to tell you is when I click on this button, I want it to do something. I want it to go to this. And now I want it to link to a screen or overlay. We'll talk about these later, but we're just going to say link to a screen. I want it to happen on click, all those different options you saw on the other screen. Click, select click, oops, sorry, do that again. And then press add link, and then the little arrow is going to happen, right? We could then sync this with inVision. And now that means once that happens, right, it's going to sync not only the images but also these interaction paths. So if you go back to inVision, and we go back to, let's just go to my test, and you click here, and you were to, if you notice this little green, this yellow, this is a highlight that's coming from Craft. So I can then click and done, just like it was before. So that's why working with Craft is super helpful and really helps you save some time on a variety of levels. All right. Now, the other thing that's pretty awesome about inVision is you're able to, there's a inVision app for iPhone. So let's go to, I'm just going to cast my iPhone screen here. So this is going to allow me to show my iPhone screen. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to select inVision. Oops. Let me show that here. Okay. So in here, I went into my inVision app, and I'm going to select, there's my test, right? And it's going to download this test, and it's going to show up on my screen. This is actually on my screen right now. And now I could click on a button, and it's going to go to the slide that I did, right? I can also show you something that's a little more, you can see all your screens, you can see all screens that I have. We could also, let's just exit this one, and we'll go to something that's a little more chained up. So this is a prototype that we did a while back. So we did this super quickly, and you'll see it, like it almost feels like an actual app, right? So I'm just clicking on things, and we have all these different sorts of things happening. Super awesome. And now you can take that and test it with students and record it and learn a lot really quickly. So anyhow, that is Craft and inVision. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask, and have a good night.